traveler.
I have no time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adigo! We're gonna be rich.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Tavern Talk. I'm back after vacation. I am tired, but I'm back. I am joined tonight by Dusharmo, as always, and TerdHerder below me, our usual hosts. And then tonight, as a guest, we have TwoStarMako, Spanish teacher, Brandon, whatever you want to call him. He's back. He used to be a host. He's yawning. He's already bored of the show. Usually he's playing something else in between. But you know what? Today he's fully focused. He finished his League of Legends games.
Yep,
He doesn't
right
have
on time.
Taco Bell. He's
Nope.
ready to go.
Yeah, no Taco Bell though. That's important.
I already ate. I'm sorry.
Was it
How's
Taco
everybody
Bell?
feeling tonight?
It was
How's
not.
everybody feeling?
We're doing good, man.
No coughing, so I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, that's perfect. That's good to hear. Dusharmo is joining us, I think, with his son today as well. If you guys hear anything, he's hanging out, so he'll be joining. But yeah, so we're really excited about the show. It's our first week of playoffs. First, we're going to talk about the meta, then go to last week review into our playoff predictions, and move on from there. It's going to be really exciting. We did a poll, so we have your predictions for the first round as well. We'll compare it to ours, and yeah, let's jump right in. All right. So, yeah. First off, we have our meta report. I just wanted to talk about this briefly. The meta, we haven't seen changes like we did during the middle of the season where we got new cards added in. But even without new cards, people have been trying to switch things up and learning new things, and things are constantly adapting. And something that I thought was really cool this week is there was a ton of variety, and actually the most popular lineups did not have great success. And I don't have the whole lineup chart here. You can find it on the website under the legacy bar if you go down to legacy stats. But if you were able to look at the entirety of it, you'll see that there's a lot of four deck or class brings that end up being two or one person brought them and actually managed to win with them, where the most popular kind of lineups did not. So any thoughts about the initial lineup stuff here from any of you guys?
Yeah, I think the first lineup with Mage in it is I think part of that might go down to the fact that Mage hasn't really been popular in the meta, in the THL meta for a while. And I think that Mage is not an easy deck to pilot. It does require some really big decisions, and Mulligan is really important in that, what matchup you're doing. I'm curious to see what how Mage fared, and looking at on the bottom part, you can tell 46%. It's one of the worst. So I don't think Mage is that bad. I think that's just people are not playing Mage to its fullest extent, in my opinion. Maybe playing greedy decks where they're throwing in Power Blasts and things like that, and keeping, Dragon Caster when they should be keeping like 2-drops and freezes and stuff. So I that's what I think when I see that.
Yeah, no, I think I tend to agree. And you also see, something I hinted at, I think the lower frequency brings, a lot of them still did have Mage, but had a little bit more success with the Mage. Although we do see the 2 ones with Mage here not doing well at all. So maybe kind of optimizing the lineup around the Mage bring and kind of thinking about your bans and stuff ahead of time might be where they went. Maybe did some things a little bit differently. Based saying, "How dare you keep attack keeping Dragoncaster?" Some people are very, very adamant about their belief in Dragoncaster. I think.
Well, I
Oh
mean, if
wow.
you're facing Dragon Hunter, you definitely should not be keeping Dragon Caster.
Is there a higher role? Yeah, there might not be. Anyone else have any thoughts here on the lineups before we jump? Real quick, talk about the class stats real quick.
I think Mage is super strong. I think you really just need to put the time in to play it first. Like,
Yeah, and
if you just go straight off of like
Mhm.
your charts and stuff, and you're like, oh man, Mage looks strong, and you're just bringing it, but you're not used to bringing it, like you're gonna get screwed. But if you've had experience playing the deck, then I mean, it's super strong to bring. Like, I'm pretty sure over the last few weeks, like my Mage win rate's been like
Mhm.
through the roof.
And I have also been bringing Mage consistently throughout the THL, and I've been having a lot of success with it. And the games that I lose have nothing to do with Mage.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's very reasonable. I think we're mostly in agreement here. I think Mage has a lot of potential, but just people need to kind of play a lot of it to get this into the swing of things. So yeah, let's look real quick at the game counts and the total brings here. You did hint at this here with Mage having the lowest of the win rates. We did talk about this as well. It also has the lowest ban rate, but probably Shaman since the beginning of the season might have maybe the first week had some bans, but since then hasn't had any. So hard to really compare the Shaman and the Mage. But what do you guys think about these? Anything surprising here in the game counts or win percents?
Well, just what I alluded to earlier. Mage
Mm-hmm.
is not worse than Shaman. That's for a fact. Mage is better than Shaman. In fact, I would put Mage closer to 50% up on this list. I just think
Mm-hmm.
it's has to do with the way it's being played, and there are some certain circumstances in some lineups where you do ban Mage. So,
Yeah.
but people aren't banning it and people aren't playing it correctly. So I think that's kind of where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I
But
mean,
absolutely.
it might be a valid gamble to be like, well, are they going to play it? Depending on who it is, or
Yeah.
what their history is, or is this their first time bringing Mage? Maybe you take that risk and you say, let's leave it open.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing me, then you could probably bank on the Mage. I think I've brought it like almost every week.
I mean, for the longest time, you've been the Mage guy that I know of. At
The
least.
Mage guy.
I'm glad to be known as the Mage guy.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Control Mage. I don't fuck with that fast Mage.
no,
That's dumb.
no,
It's
and
lame.
even I've won many games where people load my deck up with the little birds or whatever, and I still win. There's
The
ways
little
to win.
birds. How
Yeah, I forgot.
disrespectful.
I won in a THL match. I swept with Mage. It was a couple weeks ago, and I won the Mage into the Res Priest, and he shuffled like 10 or some of albatrosses into my deck. So I kept pulling them out, but like I still ended up winning the matchup because I mean it's yeah, like it's
Well,
just insane.
Mage just has so much draw. Like you think about Hunter. Hunter has no draw, so you have to like top deck the albatrosses. But Mage has so much draw, and you can have Luna's, and Luna's works perfectly with those little albatrosses. You just draw a
Yeah,
card, draw a card,
I'm
draw a
pretty sure
card.
I drew a couple of them with book too.
Yeah, so it's actually doesn't hurt Mage as much as people think.
Hmm. Absolutely. And with that thought here, I think you know, we talked a lot about these you know, lineups and classes. Let's jump into last week review. It was a really intense week. It was the final week of the season. It made champions of some teams, and some teams were unfortunately left behind here after some really close seasons. So let's take a look at the first match of the Gold Conference from last week. Dusharmo, take it away. This is your prediction last week. Let's see what you have to say about it this week.
All right. Well, Dad Legend did get the win, and I'm sorry, I got my son behind me. There he's
It's all good.
running around the room. But yeah, nothing. Only really surprising here. Big Ted getting the win over Zabe,
Zabe.
and
Mhm.
and that's really impressive from Big Ted. Shows that he does have some potential in the 1 seed, and drop him down in the 2 seed, and I think he'll be an excellent 2 seed. And then even with that PR right now, he could probably find himself in the 3 seed position and be really good in that position as well. So hi little guy. He's talking right now. I do apologize, everybody. It's a cute little boy.
He also
And then
wants to be on the show.
yeah, he does. And then Quaz taking out the turd. Quaz, you're showing that he's not a 50 PR player anymore.
I think he's
So-
saying Quaz.
Yeah.
He's just cheering on Quaz.
He's just talking. I'm talking, so
hyping
he's
him up.
talking, so that's fine.
Mhm.
Bill Snyder keeping his impressive season. So, not a hard win here for Dad Legend, but impressive for Big Ted and a couple of the wins. 3-2 with Town Drunk. So, a good game from Misfits. I think if they're looking, if they come back next season, I don't know if they are, but if they do, maybe rebuild the team a little bit so that you have like a 1 seed in there, and you drop a couple of these guys down, the Big
Mhm.
Ted down, the Town Drunk down, and you're looking at a really strong team. And Quaz in
Right.
the 5. So I like the way the Misfits ended their season. They didn't end it with a whimper, and Dad Legend showed a little bit of a crease there, a little bit of maybe there might be some way for a team to get the win.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
beat their 5 seed. What a loser.
I think certainly our strategy has been Zabe wins, and then we get 2 more. Zabe. It's usually Zabe and Bill get a win, and then we need just 1 more, and when we get 2, then we get extra points, and that seems to be the trend. I also, obviously, I didn't play this week. I was away. Starlax was able to get the win for me, which is really nice. And Turd has had a great season, so I know he'll be able to get some wins here in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
At least that's my feeling here. Anyone else have any thoughts? Oh yeah, Dano, his Turd upset of the week last week was
Just the
a full
Misfits.
match. Yeah, it was just Misfits winning over Dad Legend. So did not get that one right. Luckily for us, I think if we did lose big enough, there was a chance we didn't make the playoffs if some of the other teams managed to get a lot of points. But we were able to get there, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then anyone else have any last thoughts before we jump into the next match here?
Nope.
Awesome.
Seems
All right.
good.
So the next match, unfortunately, we don't have Dano today, so you won't be hearing all the fun sound bites. But this match I classified as a nail biter of the week, just because of how close this match was. You look at it. I mean, this was a crazy series. If I'm not mistaken, this match determined the 3 and 4 seeds going to the playoffs.
I think that's right.
Yeah, with like a 12-point loss, Wet Woman were kept out by 1 point actually, which we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second once we get to more matches. But
Hell yeah, we will.
but A crazy sweep here for Zeroshi over a great player in Dragon Rider sealed the fate for the Women here. Zeroshi was able to complete his insane regular season after someone, Dano, let him predict his own matchup last week, which is fine. I don't like to do that too much, but Dano took the reins and gave people sometimes their matchups, which is fun. I actually did the same thing today because I did want someone to talk about their matchup. You'll see in a little bit. But anyway, 3 out of the 5 of these matches went to Game 5, which says quite a lot. 2 of them went in favor of Pod Peeps, which, if they went even one game a different way, Women would potentially would have made the playoffs, actually, and potentially both of these teams could have made the playoffs, kind of gatekeeping another team that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Another team.
Hinting at things that we're going to be talking about shortly. I know everyone out there knows exactly what I'm talking about, but we like to build a little bit of the hype here. So, that's my take here. I think Women had a stellar season, but just didn't get that last finish they needed to get their spot. And I think they can still be proud of what they were able to accomplish this season, especially with some of the doubters they had at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I'd like to say something about points, and this is why, when people lose matches and they lose 3-2, this is why it's really important to get points. Wet Woman have a really good record. 5-2-1 is really impressive. That should be in all, and when you think about it, a playoff. But it goes to show you that points mean more than the record does itself. In those losses, they got very little amount of points, and so I think that this is just a kind of a thing where always fight for those points.
Yes, absolutely, Dusharmo. I agree 100%. Points matter so much. It doesn't seem like it sometimes in the week, during the week in the actual match, but even that one game win could determine a season, like we saw here. A one game, any of the entire legacy season could have gotten Wet Woman in the playoffs. So
not only that,
pretty crazy.
Not only that, I think a lot of people play Legacy trying to sweep their opponent, and a lot of times you always have that one weak class, and you want to try to target a class. So you play that class and you lose 2 times, and then you end up not winning, and you end up getting swept because they're able to find a way to win. So I think it's always better to try to play for the points, try to get your 2 points first, to play the best decks first, and then work on maybe getting the win. That's my strategy for Legacy. Kind of a little help out there.
Absolutely. And with that thought, let's jump into the next match. I think we said quite enough about this one here. It was quite a crazy match, like we said, determining the 3rd and 4th seed here for the playoffs. So let's jump into match 3, which unfortunately did not determine much for the playoffs, but still I think was quite a close match, and really appreciate all the players playing it out. There was a chance, obviously, for one of these teams to make it. But yeah, let's jump in. Saw Dude versus Always Top Deck Lethal. Turd, take it away.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so that's a Saw Dude and Always Top Deck Lethal. And Dano predicted this all in on the Saw Dude train. And I think if that went out, we might have seen a different playoff structure here. But as it happened, that hype train for a Saw Dude never really left the station. And yes, I did write that little joke in there, so please clap.
You really did, yeah. That's the only thing you wrote.
Yeah, I want to make sure I had that joke in there. Yeah. So please clap. Yeah, thank you, Diamond. Anyways, so I think, I obviously didn't make these predictions. So going back in time, kind of looking at this, I liked the Snake prediction. I liked the Sanguine prediction. I mean, a 6-2 going up a 1-7, that seemed pretty easy, to me at least, to predict. Free Hong Kong. I thought that was Snake.
That's Pond.
Pond, sorry.
Snake is Snake.
Snake is Snake. Pond is Pond. I would have gone with Pond over the Snake. And then Medusa's in the 5 seed, I think, was a pretty easy, for me at least, prediction. And those actually panned out. Now, where Dano seemed to have gone a little awry here was banking on Icon over Brick. Brick just goes with the 3-0, gets the full domination there. And then he went with Shiny Pants over Force of Will, which I don't know that I would have changed that or would have done differently. I think Force of Will gets a little bit of an upset there and pulls it off. And Always Top Deck Lethal plays the spoiler, potentially, for keeping a stud, dude, out of the playoffs. So that's it.
Very,
What do you guys
very
gotta
well
say?
said. Yeah. Anyone else have any thoughts here before we jump into the next match? Keep things moving.
Yeah, Pond's our MVP for this season.
Yeah, certainly. Making that helping you guys out here. Get that. We'll talk about it in just a second. But yeah, this match did have some influence there as well.
Quick Pond Sawyer, just real quick. I was the first person he played in THL, and he set some decks up, and he put what they were. He put like I don't know, like Death Rattle Hunter or whatever. And I sent him a message. I'm like, Pond, you shouldn't be putting the names of your deck up there because then I'll know what they are. And he queues up Death Rattle Hunter, and it's Aggro Hunter,
Yeah,
and I'm like, you pulled.
That
did the
sounds like a
ultimate.
pawn move. That sounds like a pawn move for sure. But yeah, that's always. And yeah, let's talk about this next match here. That one of these teams is able to make it. Mako, why don't we hear from you about this one?
So, I'd like to quote a famous Star Wars line. I think it's in either episode 4 or 5 where Han Solo says, "Never tell me the odds." Because if you had told me the odds, and the odds before going into this match for us making playoffs were fucking low, man.
They were low.
They hurt.
Yeah.
We talked about it where
I'm in your
Sage was like-
Discord. Yeah, I did see you guys discussing it.
Sage was like, "Can we bring meme decks this week?" And I was like, dude, I mean, like, the chance is there, but like it's not there. So I was like, if you want to, like, sure, let's have a little fun. Like, the chance of us like getting in are like so small that it's not like it's gonna, like, sure, let's just have some fun. And then I think I played like immediately, it felt like, and I got the 3-0, and then I don't know if like that influenced everyone else, or I was like, well, fuck it, let's just bring normal shit. Because like, I'll say one thing: Warlock is underrated. Alcron Warlock, if you've got enough games in that stuff, like, you can beat almost any deck, I feel like. Anyways, that's aside. We thought we were like out of the playoffs, but 2 20+ point weeks back to back, fun fact, will squeak you into playoffs. So if you're ever wondering like, how can we get in, just think to yourself, well, maybe if we just put up 20+ points a couple weeks in a row, then we'll get it.
Yep, that is certainly that's certainly a strategy that works sometimes.
Sometimes it does.
As shown here. Anyone else have any thoughts here on this match? I did like getting your input there.
It's a sweet ass logo too, if you ask me.
It was my number one logo.
No bias. It is a great logo. I still think it should have been Croonies, but what can you say? The Gallic Croonies. I'm gonna.
It's not the Galawaki.
I'm gonna.
Sounds dumb.
Well, I mean, it's based off of the Goonies. It's the Gallic Croonies. It's like that makes sense to me. But you know what? We're not having this discussion again. We did it at the top of the season, so it is what it is. I'm gonna die on this hill.
Dude, it's supposed to be your cronies, man. It's like slang for your buds.
I get how that works too, but I'm telling you,
it's 3 things in one, man. It's 3 things in one. You want 2, we want 3.
All right. Okay. Well, let's with that in mind, let's move on here to the Red Conference. Congratulations to those teams in the gold that made it. We will show the brackets after we're done discussing the red. So let's jump in. The first match here is Hot Zilfs versus Toxic Reinforcements. Turd, let's hear from you.
Yeah, so this one, I don't think I predicted this at all. I think looking at this last week, and obviously I have the benefit of hindsight rather, but Toxic Reinforcements kind of putting Hot Zilfs in the head scissors here. Kind of showing that they earned their last spot in the playoffs. Or I think, was Toxic Reinforcements more like they were pretty much a lock? Yeah, they were pretty much a lock, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Hashtag content. But look, Toxic Reinforcements definitely going strong in their last regular season match. Obviously, as someone playing them this week, you have to look at that and kind of give it a second pass, definitely, or at least to give it appreciation. I mean, Coles, Rebobson, Donde, Anfield, Jim Philos, that's an insane lineup, and Toxic Reinforcements really just kind of did what they do best, I guess, and just got some wins here in everything but their 2 and their 5 seed. So I don't really have too much more to say about that. It looks like someone declared it a WoW match. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I did. I did this stuff before when Dano was going to be on, but he had to take care of some things.
Oh, it was the
so that is it's that the sound. It's the WoW match. The previous match was the beatdown. It was the biggest point spread of the week, but I figured he's not here, so we don't need to go over that. But thanks for bringing it up. It's fine.
Sorry, but our very faithful op is saying Triss broke the Cole streak. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. Yeah, that's
and I think Dusharmo apparently said that last week, so maybe Dusharmo can talk a little bit about that. If you want. He's still muted. Oh.
No, I'm here. Yeah, Triss is really good.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Nice. All right. Well said. And with that, let's jump into match 2 of the Red Conference from last week. Good Luck Albatrosses versus Team Anoyo Team. Mako, let's hear from you on this one. Zeroshio predicted this one last week. Did not go the way he predicted, though.
Sorry, I'm waiting for it to pull up.
Yeah, couple of upsets over on the red side.
Mm-hmm.
Big upsets.
It's interesting to me because we've only played one of these matches so far for our first round, and it's gone the other way based on this match. But seeing that Good Luck Albatrosses lost to a team that was previously 2-6 or 1-6, depending on when these screenshots were taken, it's very uplifting. It gives us a lot of hope, lots of thoughts going into it. Because we've been on a huge hot streak past couple weeks, and so seeing a team with 140 points lose to a team that had 88 points feels good. I didn't know this. I never look at the red conference, so whatever. So this is good to see.
Or watch the show you used to be on, apparently.
I feel like
it's okay. It's okay.
You've asked me to get on like 3 times, and every
yeah.
time, like, I have matches at those times. So,
aren't you in our Discord call too?
Oh, he is. Yeah, he could read what's going on, but
I have it muted because I'm not a regular host, so I only.
It's probably a smart idea, honestly.
Yeah. Not a bad call. All right. Yeah. Continue your thoughts here.
But yeah, I think if I would have looked at this last week, I probably would have given it to the Albatrosses just because of like consistency throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really hard to say that that team's gonna get upset. But yeah, there's some T players on another team I don't really know either, so I think I probably would have given it to the Albatrosses. So it's interesting. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
and yeah.
I think definitely the Albatrosses have struggled a little bit more towards the end of the season. Maybe Dusharmo can speak to that. But one thing I did want to highlight is Zeroshio had his turd upset of the week last week as Dana over Dusharmo. His reasoning, though, was because he doesn't want to caster curse Dusharmo because they are good buds. In the end, his prediction came true, even though he was hoping it wouldn't. So, there you go. Two of our hosts duking it out. One of them comes out on top, even though the other one maybe had a much better season overall. Dusharmo, let's hear from you real quick about this before we jump to the next match.
Yeah, the Good Luck Albatrosses are a good team, and nothing to overlook. I mean, I play on their hero team. I know all these players, except maybe the last seed.
You mean Anoya team, right? Because you are on Good Luck Albatrosses.
That's what I meant, Team Anoya team.
Yeah.
For hero, and all these players are good players. Dano beat me last season. He was the MVP, so it's no surprise he can beat me again.
Absolutely.
He had a great lineup versus my lineup, and I couldn't get a win with a certain deck, so it's good on them for beating us. And I think it shows that they are still a good team. I think it's more I mean, you guys might want to look at it as the Good Luck Albatrosses are weak. I think I look at it as Team Manoa team is actually stronger than they look.
Finding their stride here at the end.
Yeah, a little too late, but maybe able to do it here. Yeah, let's jump into match 3 then. With that thought, Stubbs versus Dirty Mike and the boys. This one's on you, Dusharmo.
Nope, muted.
Yep, I got it. Another match that the Stubbs did make it into the playoffs, and they really needed to win. It was another important match, and they got the kind of the luck of the draw, playing the team, the last place team, and that we've been struggling all season, and they needed massive points, and they did, and they squeaked into the playoffs in the Red Conference. Really, in terms of matches here, I think they all went the ways that I would have expected them to go. Nothing surprising here. Maybe Serlos beating Nate, but I think they're all just nothing at all. And good job on the Stubbs really stepping it up and being at the bottom for a while and then coming up and finding that 4 seed to get into the playoffs. But now they face the best team in the cold conference, so they got to get through that first.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough climb, but congratulations to them for making it there. They have had quite a lot of success over the seasons with some changes, but may be able to turn things around here after a big win. Anyone else have any other thoughts on this match before we jump into the final match from last week?
Not really. It looks like it was just kind of a stomp from one side. The 5 druid brings pretty interesting to me, but yeah.
3 warlocks. You were talking about the power of the strength of warlock, and
exactly.
They did face 2 other warlocks on the other side, so you can't speak too much to that. But Osmonaut was able to get the 3-1 with the warlock.
One shaman ban, by the way.
Shaman ban. Hold
there
up.
You go.
Shaman
there you go. So I was wrong about the shaman bans being all in the beginning of the season. Apparently, we found one here that didn't happen at the beginning of the season.
I feel like we shouldn't talk about like the lack of shaman because Blizzard might hear us and then buff shaman and then there'll be nothing but shaman.
It's okay. We got Sludge Slurper back, so shaman's good now. It's
Let's
totally
just all
fine.
pretend like shaman's super strong. So then
it's so good. Sludge Slurper's back.
Yeah, I'm good with Shaman being bad. Shaman was so good for so long. Shaman needs to be in last place for a little bit.
All right. And with that thought, let's jump to match 4 of the Red Conference, final match from last week. It is not Yellow Jackets versus just Rogue Things. Zeroshio predicted this one last week. He did get a lot of this right, but a couple things wrong. I'm not sure exactly what happened here, though. You might be able to enlighten me.
There's 3 DQs here.
So it was 3 DQs. I wasn't sure if they were DQs or something else.
It's 3 DQs. 2 against the NYJ. 2 against NYJ is just Rogue Things.
Yeah. So it is what I did suspect. So I do believe both teams were in a difficult position to make playoffs, but still could have gotten that 4th spot with some big wins, especially not Yellow Jackets. I think had a decent shot with a win. But could have passed the Stubbs if they did have a big series. Okay, Icicles is saying that they would have needed a sweep, but I think if with the Stubbs putting up those points, then they might have needed a sweep. But instead, 2 of their players, having some issues with scheduling or something, which I can understand at the end of the season. Sometimes if you're struggling to get there, it can happen, or maybe something else happened. But. Yeah, I mean, tough to talk about this one. Besides the fact that, Lemons, although it was a DQ, was able to complete the perfect season for them, and not bad for someone who brings Shaman every week. And on the other side of things, just Rogue Things were able to finish off the season with a win to tie a little nice ribbon. Even though, 3 of the matches were not able to be played, they got a key win with comp over NC. To help seal it for them. Any other thoughts here? I know there's not too much to talk about when only 2 matches got played, but anything kind of surprising about those matches?
I think the fact that only 2 matches got played is the thing that should be talked about there.
Yeah,
I mentioned it. It's unfortunate. I don't want to tell anyone to force them to play their matches, but if these things happen, and you never know what's going on in people's lives. But I do feel bad that it didn't. It maybe could have determined a spot if the matches got played. It's hard to say, but it is possible that if Slay and Silver T Fox were able to win, maybe they could have sneaked into the playoffs. But who can say?
Right, and we don't know exactly when the Dustubs kind of put up those big points to be like, oh, hey guys, we're statistically eliminated here. So I never want to assume on anyone's part, especially in those decisions. Being someone that's had to make a tough decision, where it's like, we're already out, guys. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely don't want to assume anything there. So some of these guys have really good seasons. So that's all I'd really say. Lemons, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Some solid seasons we see on Just Rogue Things. Most of their players are actually even or higher. So not a bad season for them either. And then obviously Lemons and Kid Eternity and Z with positive records on the other side. With that, we discussed all the matches from last week. We sort of hinted at who made it to the playoffs. I mean, you could see just based on the points, but let's take a quick look at the playoff picture. And any last thoughts on what happened last week before we do our quick commercial break?
I think we're good.
Good.
All right. So yeah, any last thoughts? Like I said about the who made the playoffs? Anything surprising? I don't have our predictions from the beginning of the season exactly, but is there anything that maybe you didn't expect coming making to the playoffs at this point?
Yeah, I didn't expect us to be in the playoffs.
There you go. I think you were rated pretty highly at the beginning of the season, so I think you did make some people's predictions. And you were
early in
able
the season, yes. I
Yeah.
mean, like a couple weeks ago, like I didn't think we were going to be in playoffs.
Yeah.
I think most of these teams, -2, were regulars in people's lineups to make the playoffs. That would be the Stubs and Pod people.
Yeah.
And I've been high on the Pod people all season. I'm so glad they got in the playoffs, and I hope they kick the Zilf's butts.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Maybe the Stubs kind of played the Annoyo team role of last season. I don't know if anyone voted for the Stubs this season, the playoffs, and they were able to sneak in there at the end as well.
I think somebody
so congratulations.
did.
Oh,
If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I think somebody
that
did.
would be amazing. We would have, if somebody did, then we got everyone right somewhere. Someone got all of them right, or at least to some degree. So
I'll go look it up.
Back for us. Yeah, go look it up while we do our quick commercial break. Mako, since you're a guest and you know how this goes, let's go. Diamond suggested it, so I went with it, and let's hear your little commercial.
As my high school teacher used to say, voluntas o victimas.
I'm going to do this with the absolute highest amount of disdain in my voice because I just got a notification that my Billie Eilish concert got postponed. So
Yikes.
I'm taking
my honeymoon got canceled today, so
sorry to hear, buddy.
Yeah, we're both
we're both feeling the same amount of pain here.
It's
honeymoon,
they're equal.
Billie Eilish.
Really, if you ask me, they are equal.
maybe you're married to Billie
Eilish might be more painful.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you didn't know, we have a Twitch channel and you are on it, so I'm not going to talk about that. But please consider subscribing. This allows us to. I'm trying to like riff this and not just like
riff
read it straight up.
Do it.
I'm trying, but then like I'm like riffing like a part ahead, but I'm like that doesn't go with it. This subscription enables the THL
part
team,
of
which is
riffing
us.
Not describing what you're doing.
I'm trying to half and half. Shut up. Anyway, enables us, the THL team, to help cover the various costs of operating our website because it does cost money, as well as improve the quality of our streams because we can do better in content to our viewers. If you have an Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, which they are one and the same, you can sub to the channel for free. It's a purple button right at the top right of your window here. Subscribers get the THL emoticon as well as the lovely THL chat badge, if we can throw that up in chat for the viewers. So hit that heart button, keep notifications on, and make sure you catch our team broadcasting live. We appreciate each and every one of you, all of you. And also, we have a website, teamhearthlegends.com, and a Twitter, THL_HS, and a Discord. Team Hearth Legends, which is on the website. Telling you what it is out loud doesn't help you very much, but it's on the website.
That's great stuff. Great stuff. We also have a YouTube channel. That's where you'll find all the VODs of everything. So you might not be watching live on Twitch now. You could be watching the VOD later. And if you are, our Twitch is twitch.tv/TeamHearthLegends. And if you're not watching on YouTube, then you should go check out the YouTube because you can find all of our old VODs there. And they are timestamped now by Saku, doing a great job. And that is on YouTube at Team Hearth Legends as well. So thanks everybody for subscribing and doing that stuff and following and watching. But yeah, let's jump in to the Week 10 preview. We're going to do it a little bit differently this week because there's only 4 matches. We're going to talk about each one a little bit more in depth, and then we will do our own playoff bracket predictions as well as the community predictions that we sent out earlier yesterday, I believe. So let us jump. Actually, first thing I do want to recognize, we don't have bye Felicia this week. There's no bye week, but I do want to recognize all of the teams that are no longer, in the tournament here in the series. They didn't make the playoffs, unfortunately, but had some solid seasons and really, really, great matches. So, great season to buy. Just Rogue Things, Not Yellow Jackets, ATL, Team Anoyo Team, The Misfits, Wet Woman, DMB, Asadude, and SPG. Thank you for playing this season, and better luck, I guess, next time. All right, so let's jump to match 1. It is this is not match 1, but we're gonna go with it. So we're going to match 2 first. It's Good Luck Albatrosses versus the Galacronies.
Oh, that's me.
Since that's what we have up. So Turd, take it away.
Not a problem. So let's start with the glaring thing here. First, well, I guess the second glaring thing. The first glaring thing is Mako's here, and he's probably going to disagree with my predictions. The second thing is Shu got swept. To me, that's big news. Sage is no joke either. He is definitely probably a 4 and/or 3 seed playing in the 5 seed spot, in my opinion. His match against me was very good. I think in Hero, isn't he 2 seed or? I don't specifically know, but I know he's very good. So that going in his favor, not super unsurprising, but Shu getting 0 points really puts Good Luck Albatrosses kind of behind the ball here. Going up from there, I'm going to have to give it to It's Me, Mike V. Obviously, it's Booze and It's Me, Mike V are 4-4 each. It's going to be really close. They almost have a mirror match, but I'm not sold on the Mage. I don't like it. And I really like It's Me, Mike V's classes. I'm going to go give it to Dusharmo. I think Ghost, Mako, did Ghost and Booze swap during the season?
We were very close, like almost the whole season. Ghost was 5 seed at one point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, him and...
Yeah.
Did I play Ghost instead of Sage?
You might have.
I think I did. And not a big deal. Either way.
Based in me, we're 1-2 the whole season, but Ghost, Booze, and Sage have moved around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just think Dusharmo is a very good player. Not to say that Ghost isn't. I just think that's going to go there. I will give it to Mako over Catman. Yeah, you can talk about your own match more than me. And then Lotus over Based.
Right.
I think Lotus is a very solid player, and I think he's going to pull it off here. So that's going to be, I think, what, 3-2? Good Luck Albatross? Yeah.
Yeah, you had Mike, Dusharmo, and Lotus, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it right there. Okay.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna disagree here. We'll look at our playoff brackets later, but I actually think with Sage winning, I think the Galacronies are in a really good spot. I do think the Ghost Dusharmo match is gonna be really good. That one might actually determine this one. I lean Booze for the 4 seed personally, the 2 seed also could go either way. So, but I think if Booze it leans Booze for the 5, then you just need one of Mako or Ghost to get a win for the Galacronis to win. So I think they might sneak this one out. Although Good Luck Albatrosses still have 4 great players ready to play. So it's going to be tough for both teams. Anyone else have any thoughts here? We have 2 players on either of these teams, so I do kind of want to hear from both of you. If Mako, you want to go first.
Yeah. I think you gotta remember we've been very consistent with sneaking in wins and stuff by sneaking in playoffs, so don't forget that. But I mean, like, not like completely match related, but like it blew my mind that Sage and Shu played on Monday.
Yeah.
Like Sage just sent in his channel, like he wants to play tonight, and I was like, what do you mean he wants to play tonight? And then they just played their match that night, and yeah, I mean, it worked out in our favor, but like, never play on a Monday, please. It just gives your whole team a heart attack. I think we'll end up taking it out, but I'm also like slightly biased. Base has been struggling a lot this season, but at the same time, after like I think it was after last week, she kind of like was like, I've been fucking up a little bit, so I'm gonna kind of take it to heart and practice my butt off and get ready. And I think she can get this one out. I have faith in Ghost. He's been practicing a lot. We'll see how Boost does. I'm just kidding. It's gonna be interesting, that 4C1 though, because I do agree. I think Mike V's lineup might be just slightly better. But it's just gonna come down to bans and what decks we end up bringing. I don't know. I think the ghost classes favor us over the Dusharmo one. I think that priest pick is kind of like an interesting outlier here. So yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give it to us just because I'm biased, but I think it's gonna be close.
Dusharmo?
You're
Oh,
muted.
Mayanadon was muted. He was saying
Yeah.
something.
Oh, my mistake. Yeah, I was muted. I was just saying, yeah, let's hear from Dusharmo now. I think that this will be a close one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I'm not worried. The Galacronis are built to win in the 4 and the 5, so that goes with their plan. I'm not saying that the top 3 can't win. Our team is built in that manner as well. Shu's been a beast for us all season, but it's time for us to step up and fill in the shoes. And I have faith in my team.
Fill in the
Phil,
shoe.
yeah, I was.
Yeah. Pun intended.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be fine. I think we'll get it, but it'll be a close one.
Counter argument.
Mhm.
You may say we're built to win in the 4 and the 5, but we've actually been winning more in the 2 and the 3. So having the win in the 5 gives us that little edge we need.
Okay.
Okay. I like it. I like that. All right. Very, very brief, to the point. I like it. All right. So with that, let us jump to the second match, or what I had as the first match, but it's the second match now of the quarterfinals. I had these ordered with like the 1 seed in gold, then the 1 seed in red, then the 2 seed in gold, and 2 seed in red. But whatever, we'll do red. Then it's fine. Anyway, so this match is 4th and Inches versus Dustubs. Mako, this one's yours.
Oh, this one is mine. Let's see. So we played. Now it may be part of our identity now that we are the sweeping team, but we got swept earlier in the season by somebody, and I don't remember who. I think it might have been 4th and Inches, but I'm not 100%. I'll have to go back and look. But this one's. I mean, I'm gonna be a little biased because we did play against the 4th and Inches. If they weren't the team we swept, or we got swept by, like I remember this whole match being rough. just because they're a strong team. But match like game by game. I mean, I get obviously Itachi's already won that first match, so um, that's happening. And the two, I think Ron Mexico's gonna take it because he's not playing against Sage, so he should be fine. Um, I'm not like huge on the Warrior right now. I don't think it's gonna break or like win you a lineup, but just like that mage over the Warrior bring, I think might help him out. Like besides just consistency throughout the season. Um, in the three, I have like little to no experience with Paladin or against Paladin because no one's been bringing Paladin, even though like stats wise, Paladin's pretty decent to good. Um, so that's kind of tough for me to call. So if I have to go by like record base and consistency in the season, I guess I got to give it to the subs 3 seed. I don't want to pronounce it wrong and feel bad. But they do have the Warlock too, which edges it out for me. So I'll be confident giving that one over. So I think overall, fourth and inches can really 4-1 this, winning the 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Oh wow, so that's your prediction, the 1,
That's
2, 4, and
that's
5.
gonna be my prediction. I think this is gonna be a hard fourth and inches win here.
Wow. I like it. I like it. Any thoughts here from anybody else? Any opposing thoughts?
Oh, for the record, yeah, fourth and inches was the team that swept you.
It was okay.
Yeah. It was week 6. Before you went on your checks notes 20-point back-to-back win.
Wait, we got swept, and then we're like, that's pretty fun.
Let's do the opposite of that. Yeah, it was swept, and then the next week was 20 points against Wet Woman.
Yeah.
And then after that was, then it was 14, and then I think it was 20 after that. Maybe 17.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
So you did okay.
plus
with
3.
the win bonus, it's 20 technically, but yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I tend to agree here. I do lean fourth and inches. I think actually the match that I'm really the most excited for is the 3 seed. I think your Mumked is really good, and Kura Finway, I think that's how you say it, has had a great season. So I would love to see that match. And then Super Murloc versus Siege, I think, is also going to be close. So if both of those go the way of the Stubs, they have a shot. Although it's Nate usually plays in the 1, so maybe he'll have a better shot. Although Ron Mexico is just another 1 seed in the 2, so
Yeah.
Not getting off easy here, even though moving down to that 2 seed. And the Chronic not having the best season, but still has a chance here, Rage Double. So I think it's going to be close, but I do lean fourth and inches as well. Anyone else? Any thoughts before we jump to match 3?
Yeah, I think fourth and inches are just they're gonna take out the Stubs. I mean I like the Stubs, but they really needed to win in the 1. I think the other matchups I think are even harder, going to be harder for them. Ron's gonna in the 2 is going to be really hard, and Rage in the 5 I think is also going to be hard. Chronic's been having a really difficult season,
Right.
so I think even if they win, in the 3 and the 4, I still think fourth and inches will take this.
Yeah. All right. With that thought, let us jump into the third match of the playoffs, of the quarterfinals. We have Dad Legend versus Toxic Reinforcements. Dusharmo, this is yours to predict.
Yeah, and I think you and Turd are going to like my prediction here.
Oh no.
Yeah, you are gonna like it. Especially if you're looking at the sheet already. Toxic Reinforcements are just gonna have that. I think across the board here, they just have difficult matchups all across. They really needed Trist to win in that 1 seed because I think that was sort of maybe a wild card. But I like your classes versus their classes. I just like the lineups. They look really good and really strong. And obviously the players behind them is important as well. And I think the Dad Legend teams just has really good players to pilot those decks. And Bill Snyder in the 4 seed is gross. So
But so is F.
look at-
Srirachi in the 4 seed.
yeah, I would say Bill Snyder is more gross than F. Srirachi, to be honest. Yeah, but I mean, yes, they're two really good 4 seeds. But I think down the board, Dad Legend is going to sweep Toxic
Wow.
Reinforcements 5-0.
When I saw this, I thought that Turd had snuck into the sheet and was predicting it for you.
No,
I have done the 5-0 Dead Legend prediction a couple times this season.
I will say I do think we have a good shot. I think Toxic Reinforcements is a great team. If I were to predict this one, I think I would say I lose and everyone else wins. But I think the matches that might determine this one are going to be the 2 seed, the 4 seed, and the 5 seed. I think for both teams. So
yeah.
well, let me continue a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was going to go a
Yeah,
little more
sorry.
in depth there. So, just looking across, Mayanadon is a 1 seed player in my eyes. You're a 1 seed player playing in the 2, and I know you had a little bit of a difficult season, but I think you'll get icicles, and Yellow Dart's really strong as well. Yellow Dart's a 2 seed player. I just think your team is like everybody's playing except TerdHerder is playing in the wrong seed. Mayanadon should be playing in the 1. Yellow Dart should be playing in the 2, and Bill Snyder should be playing in the 1 or the 2. So I think your team is just so strong just across the board. And if Turd picks up wins, that's also very
Icing on the cake.
icing on the cake. So, and I'm giving it to Turd just because you're having a good season right now.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, he's certainly improved quite a lot and still making a bunch of improvements. Proud of you, bud.
Thank you.
I think it's going to be closer than 5-0, but I do appreciate that, and I do hope that we win. I think we can do it. Anyone else have any thoughts here? Unless Dusharmo, you have some more elaboration. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm good. That's it.
Cool. Mako, any thoughts here? I know Turd and I had already spoken a little bit. Since it's our team, we kind of jumped in, but
Yeah, I mean, I agree throughout the board, except for I think that 4C one's gonna be super close.
Icicles has thoughts, and so does Diamond. They both have thoughts. Unfortunately, you guys don't have the stage, so please tell us your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think you're gonna beat me, Icicles. So if your thoughts
Diamond,
different,
just unmute. We got time.
Yeah, Diamond, you want to unmute? Say something. I'd like to hear from you. Actually, your team. I'd like to hear your opinion. Come on. We have a special guest joining us. Our op Diamond is going to join us momentarily. Get in here. Oh wow, Icicles, you can't do that. You can't say I'm going to beat you and then the rest. That's not. Come on, you can't just do that.
Also, that can't even be true because Zabe already won.
I think he meant the rest because that gives him the win.
I see.
But I think if I win, then I think we're looking pretty good. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to win. But yeah, Diamond, come on. That's all you're saying? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be close. I think it's going to be closer to 3-2 than the 5-0. Eileen Dad Legend, obviously, where tons of bias is happening over here on Tavern Talk today. But yeah, let's Diamond can't hear Diamond. They said. So maybe they didn't hear you. Unfortunately, he predicted that Toxic Reinforcers would win 3-2. He says everyone's prepping really hard. So yeah, that was pretty much what you said, right?
I think that's right.
So let's, with that in mind, let's jump to the final match of the quarterfinals. It is Hot Zilfs versus the Pod People. This, to me, is going to be a close one.
It's going to be a knock them up, beat them down.
I think the Pod People have really come into their own recently. Zeroshio has been doing wonders the entire season. But the rest of his team kind of, coming into their own, like I said. My prediction, though, the Hot Zilfs have been doing well all season, so hard to, bet against them. But I didn't actually bet against them, so I think it's going to be close though. I'm going to go with Coles in the 1. Although I think that one's going to be. I mean, I'm looking at all these matches. It's tough to make any of these calls. I think it's such a coin toss across the board. Like Coles versus Arhat. Like Arhat's, not as impressive a season as Coles so far. Coles just got his first loss. Probably going to be looking to turn that around, get a win here in the playoffs. But Arhat has had a solid season as in in Legacy and has had an insane season in Pro. So clearly playing a lot, prepping, doing what he needs to do. Zeroshio again, incredible season for Bobson. That's a match I really want to see. That's just like 2-7-1 players, similar PRs. Their lineups are completely different. I'm really excited for that one. But I'm leaning Zeroshio just because he beat me. So I'm gonna go with the person that beat me. I haven't played Bobson this season, so I'm gonna go with Zeroshio there. I'm gonna go with Donde in the 3. I think he is just a slightly better player here than Matt. I think Matt's a great player, but I think Donde, sort of like what Dusharmo was saying, I think Donde is like a 1 or 2 seed that's playing in the 3. So I mean, the Coles, Robson, Donde, they could all be 1 seeds on other teams. So for them to be the 1, 2, 3, it's going to be tough. But I think if pod people manage to get 1 or 2 of those, they can get this. My prediction for the 5 is Wicked Good. I think Wicked Good's had a good season, and I think the class is better in the 4. Sorry, and then I'm going to go with the Chim in the 5. Although again, I think this is going to be a close one. It's tough to predict, but that has me at 3-2 to the Zilfs. What are you thinking, everyone else? Does anyone else have any opinions that differ? Let's start with Turd.
Yeah, no hunter over on Hot Zilfs. I mean, exactly 1 hunter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
they
just.
went
I
all
mean,
in on
maybe
the
that's
threes.
right. I don't know, man. It's craziness. To me, take
Yeah,
it for your
maybe they
5
saw
cent
something.
value.
Yeah, maybe they saw something on the pod people's side. They said we all have to bring priest and just forget the hunter.
Yeah, straight up forget it, and mostly forgetting druid too. And there's probably a plurality of opinions there, but definitely some interesting brings over on the Hot Zilfs. Maybe they're kind of. I mean, this is playoffs. I would have gone. Maybe you go with the safer picks here, but they went kind of crazy in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, it does look like maybe they had some reads they expected or something, because this is not what I think we saw from them throughout the season. They definitely changed it up, and there's some strategy in that as well. Diamond says, yeah, you like the pod people in this matchup. I think it's going to be close. I lean Hot Zilfs, but I think it's going to be super close. Any thoughts from you, Dusharmo?
Yeah, I would like to point out that the 3 and the 4 in the Gold Conference, in my honest opinion, is way better than the 3 and the 4 in the Red Conference. So now that they did these switcheroo things where they switched the conference, the Red Conference is having a lot harder time. It's going to have a lot harder time, and I love my team, and I think we're going to win. But there is a good chance that both the 1 and the 2 in the Red get knocked out this first round, and it will be mostly gold going through. But I think in this match, I'm leaning towards pod people. I think I think Donde obviously gets the 3. I think that is an obvious there. And I like Wicked Good over Anful as well. Like you had mentioned, Anful is 1-5 in his last 6 matches. So he's been having a very tough. He started 3-1, so he started really good. There was, I think, the first 2 weeks, like the first 4 seeds were all undefeated. So yeah, so he's kind of having a hard time, and I think Wicked Good takes that. So if they can win, if Sako wins and one of the top 2 seeds wins, I think the pod people take it. I'm leaning towards pod people 3-2 in a very close match.
Mayanadon, you're muted, bud.
Oh man, I made a great joke and I was muted. I was saying that
Wow.
Dusharmo is the original pod person Stan, but I'm glad it still landed somewhat. At least I got
I giggled. Yeah.
but yeah, I think the pod people, really strong team coming in their own towards the end of the season, right where you want to kind of get things going, right in the groove there. Both of these teams really strong, so I'm really excited for this match. And then Mako, do you have any thoughts before we jump into the playoff bracket that we've built and our community prediction?
Yeah, I think this is the closest match of the week, and I think that like this could honestly go either way. And I really want to see some of these on stream. Like I really want to see like the Coles Hat match on stream and the Rebob Zeroshio match on stream. And yeah, like all of these almost like these need to be on stream. Like Dante needs to get his own team onto stream because like all of these matches are super hyped up. Um, yeah, I have to agree with the Hot Zilfs taking it in the end though. But yeah, I want to watch these.
Yeah, I do think we have quite a few slots available. We'll talk about that later for stream. But so if you are playing at a stream time, please reach out. We would love to get these matches up there. I agree that this is probably one of the closer ones. I think the Good Luck Albatros's Galacronies one is this also another really close one. Actually, I mean, I'm looking at all of the Dad Legend versus Reinforcements is going to be. I think this is going to be a good playoffs. Any last thoughts here before we jump to the community prediction bracket? I think that's the order we did it. What order did we do it in? Diamond, remind me. What do we have first? Community. So yes, community vote first. Icicles, what's up? We're going to community vote. Can they stream later? Yeah, there's a potential that they can stream later. Just if your match is around the time of a stream, reach out to Donde or someone and try to figure out if we can get any casters and stuff. I think, are you talking about our match? Because we are playing Saturday at 10, so we could potentially do that. That's a good idea. But we'll talk about that later off stream. For now, yeah, let's jump to the community vote. Is this live? Are we seeing it? Is it up? Boom.
Looks like it.
All right, so this is what the community voted. We got a total, I think, of 23 or 24 votes, although I think 2 of them were Sage.
Sorry, I'm looking at the host. Sorry.
Yeah, don't look at the host stuff yet.
Yeah,
Don't
sorry, that's
spoil
bad.
it.
Sorry.
Don't spoil it. Come on. All right, so
Y'all are gonna get a good giggles.
this is the community prediction. We have 4th and Inches with 100% of the vote out of 23 people voting. Well, I guess 22. Sage voted twice. I'm sure it was a mistake. I did post twice, so I could see where the confusion may have come in. But yeah, 100% of the vote going to 4th and Inches there for that match. 82.6% going for Hot Zilf. So there are some other pod people stands out there. Dusharmo couldn't have, done enough percentage there to just.
Hey,
and
we
I
might
think.
be offline.
Oh, yeah. I also got that network error. What do we got here? Are we back? Are we on? How we feel? What's it?
Oh, it seems back to me.
Out there. Okay, we're back. All right. So 82.6% of the vote going to Hot Zilfs. I think that's closer in my mind than 82%. If we're talking like 82% of the time the Zilfs win, and then 60.9% went for Dad Legend over Toxic Reinforcements. I think most of my team voted, so that might have an influence there. I don't know if all of Toxic Reinforcements voted, but I think that was going to be super close as well. And then we have Good Luck Albatrosses getting 52.2% of the vote. That's the closest one. Galacronies, even with Sage's 2 votes, just a little bit short. I'm assuming he voted for the Galacronies. But yeah, this is any thoughts here? Anything kind of really surprising? This is definitely somewhat different from mine. Not that different though for the first round. We'll see that in a second. So anyone want to say something? Yeah.
This looks about 3/4 correct to me.
3/4 correct. All right. Yeah, I think I know where you're differing here. But yeah, this is the community vote. We'll do the same thing next week, I think, for the next match. Obviously, there's going to be fewer to predict, but I think it's a fun little thing that we're gonna do. Hopefully, get people's input to see what everyone else is thinking. And now, let us jump to our playoff brackets. The host playoff brackets.
Hold on a second. Sorry. Oh, never mind. It went. He flipped it. Never mind. No, it's fine. It's okay. I was just gonna say, you know what? The Galacronis being so close to Good Luck Albatross is, to me, is I mean, if you would have asked me week 1, this is the playoff matchup, what do you think? I would have been like, LOL, easy peasy, Good Luck Albatrosses. But myself and the community are torn here, like almost down the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. I am not seeing the predictions up yet for me. Have we transitioned to them on stream? Okay, so maybe my stream is just a little slow.
There you go.
All right, so looking at these, does someone want to start just explaining their overall prediction? We can see all of ours side by side. Anyone feel really strongly about
now you know why I was laughing.
Mako's is unsurprising.
Literally the easiest prediction I've made in my life.
I think for me, after the first round, almost every single matchup was a coin flip. Whether it was the semis or the championship, I think it was just coin flippy.
I'm the only one that didn't pick my team to win the whole thing.
Yeah,
and I did that. I did that because I figured you guys were going to pick your teams, and I wanted to be like more fair. I didn't want to be like, everyone's going to pick their team. So what's the point of doing this? So
yeah, I mean that's totally reasonable. I think that's fair.
All right.
I will say that you have a tendency to pick your team to 5-0 during the season.
Yeah, I do, but I didn't do that.
Change of pace. This is a nice change of pace for you.
Yeah.
I will say I submitted 2 to Diamond. I submitted the Dad Legend Stan bracket, which you see here, which I fully believe is a likely possibility. However, taking away my bias, maybe to a fault, I predicted GLA over Dad Legend in the semis, and then literally I said to him, coin flip, and I chose Zilfs over Good Luck Albatross in the finals.
Yeah, get that redemption. I believe you the Good Luck Albatrosses beat the Zilfs in the regular season, so
that was 100% my rationale. Was just they lost in the regular season. They're going to turn on the after boosters here. So that was my non-stand bracket, for the record.
Also, I like to make a change here. I think pod people beat the Zilfs. I don't know. I just kind of did this real quickly.
Yeah.
Pod people, but I still think 4th and Inches beats pod people. 4th and Inches takes it in the end. They're just a really strong team overall. I like the top 2. It's just insane. And looking to see them get to the finals. Dad Legend. The one reason I wanted to pick Dad Legend, I did. But
I know why.
You didn't have to.
No, but here's the thing. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to win the hero one, and I didn't want to give you the legacy one too.
Oh man,
I know you're not. I know you're not in the hero team, but the Dad Legend's probably going to win the hero.
I mean, that'd be incredible. Has any team or any group ever won both? Yeah, an org, and I guess if you can call us an org, have won both hero. We're so far off from that. It's still the first week of playoffs, but has that ever happened?
I don't know, but I don't think it's ever happened. If I remember going back and doing all the stats, I don't think it's ever happened. But
well, Yellow Dart will be happy because now I'm motivated to make it happen.
Yeah, I really want to make it happen. I really want to get a win. Been pretty close several seasons, made playoffs I think every season I've played, but have not been able to get that win. So that's why I voted for us. I think there's a lot of really good teams that are going to make it hard. But I do think our side of the bracket, as far as early on, I think it's very 50-50 where the other side, I feel like some of them are a little bit more one-sided. So I could see our side kind of going either way for a lot of these matches. Anyone else have any thoughts about their predictions? I like doing this. I think it's kind of fun to show what we're thinking. I know we're a little biased, but
Yeah.
it lets everyone else in the community look at us and say we're crazy at the end of the season when things didn't go our way. We want to say though that the community did tend to vote sort of with us here for the most part. I think most of the community, actually 100% of the community, went with 4th and Inch. Sorry, Stubbs. If you want to prove everybody wrong, this is your chance, because everyone that voted against you. So this would be really cool if you guys are able to turn that around. The hosts and the community voted for 4th and Inches there. And then Zilfs versus Pod People, again, one that the community was strongly in favor of the Zilfs, besides Dusharmo and some others. I do think it's a lot closer than the community vote shows, but I do still lean a little bit towards the Zilfs. And then Galacroni's Good Like Albatrosses, I think, was the most, as far as voting wise, is the most divisive matchup. Just like people going strongly one way or the other. I think part of it potentially, which maybe influenced us. I'm not sure. We have 2 people going Galacroni's, 2 people going Good Like Albatrosses, but Galacroni's getting that first win in potentially a seed that a lot of people expected to go towards the Albatrosses has skewed some people's votes. What do you think about that?
No, I think it's interesting. Definitely.
Awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
hope everybody enjoyed that. If anyone else has any thoughts, say them now, or we are going to jump to our closing and talk about the upcoming matches.
Yeah, just some closing thoughts for me. I would love to see. I would love my team to win. And I think we can do it. But I like to see Dad Legend win. They deserve a win as well. And also Pod People. Those are 2 teams I'm sort of rooting for that are not my team.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get knocked out by the Galacronis, I'll be going for those teams. And I think those type teams deserve it. So they've just been around so long, you know what I mean? And just been fighting tooth and nail and getting into the playoffs. And Pod People always find a way just to get in that 4th seed and never quite make it past the first round. And
yeah,
Dad Legend's always there. And last season almost made it. And it's just heartening to see those. I don't even know that's a word, but
Yeah,
it's love to see if those teams make it. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah, and I know we're hungry. More or less the exact same team made it to the finals last season, and we had a disappointing defeat. I think we were all disappointed. So for us, I think we're hungry for the opportunity to potentially maybe possibly do it again. And this time, change the outcome.
Yeah, it certainly has been a tough road for the Pod People, as Roshi was saying. But you guys have done really well with that adversity that you guys did face. But yeah, let's now with those finishing thoughts. Thank you, Dusharmo. Let us just talk about the upcoming matches. Like I said, there are still quite a few available slots. So if you are playing around a stream time, or you're just playing in one of these playoff matches and think we can maybe get a stream going around that time this weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, please reach out to Donde and try to get that scheduled, and we'll try to find some casters for that. But matches we do have scheduled so far for Friday night fights, Saku, myself, and I think Ted, we're going to be casting that tomorrow night. The first match we have at 8 p.m. Eastern time is It's Me, Mike V versus Boozosaurus for the Legacy quarterfinal. So that is one of the matches we were talking about.
The
and
4v4.
I think we did vote differently. So I think some lean Mike, some lean Booz. So I think it's going to be a really good one. The next match that we have for that stream is Disco of NPH versus Starlights of Dad Legend for Hero. The semis, that's at 9 p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned for those 2. On Saturday at night, we have Salty Saturday with Donde and still to be decided other casters. That's going to be Super Murloc of 4th and Inches versus Siege of the Stubbs at 8 p.m. Legacy quarterfinals, as I said. So 2 Legacy quarterfinals matches scheduled here. So far, please get more of those out there. We also want some more hero matches as well. We're also in playoffs there, so I think those are taking priority. Although Pro, if you're playing in some of the intense matches for Pro, also reach out. We don't have anything scheduled yet for School Stone, so if you're playing in the afternoon, Saturday or Sunday, please reach out to them. And then on Sunday, Showdown Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Yellow Dart versus Agent PWE for Hero. So another one of that Dad Legend versus NPH match. So stay tuned for that. If you're playing around those times, we still have plenty of slots available, so please reach out. And thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Mako, for joining us as a guest today. Missed your presence, on this show. Definitely,
And your
really helped
Taco
out
Bell.
the first seat, and your Taco Bell, especially your Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Didn't bring it today, so failed us a
You
little
gotta
bit.
stop talking about it. You're making me hungry again.
I've been thinking about Taco Bell the whole time.
I sent that picture.
Bird sent to pick, and that's all I've been wanting. So maybe I'll go do that now. But yeah, stay safe out there as well, everybody. Do what you have to. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face too much. All that fun stuff. Any last thoughts? Everybody else here, Dusharmo, Turd, Mako.
Nope.
Awesome.
I just saw I play at 10 on Sunday, so maybe I can ask my opponent. Maybe we can get on.
Yeah, absolutely. Should do it for sure. And thanks everybody for watching. And check us out next week where we're going to be talking about the matches we just reviewed or we just predicted and moving on to the semifinals. So good night, everybody. And thanks again.
Adios, amigos.